Can you hear me now? Heard something. Nice. Okay, let me make it the volume a bit higher. 1 second. Is it better now? Getting better. Okay. Is it better now? Nice. Cool. So we can start. So with hearing yourself. Okay, 1 second. Let me check if I can. One second. Okay, now it should be fine. Cool. Okay, so it seems like it's only you and me, so let's start. Wee. Okay, someone else joined us. Cool. So we just finished setting things up, and I'm muting myself. Okay. So I'm here and I want to stream. I want to like play around with new tools. We have Bun, we have HTMX, we have UnoCSS, which is kind of a tailwind, and we have Alpine.js, which looks cute. This is what the tools that I want to use, and the idea is to build a product around it. So instead of like picking the right tools for the job, I'm picking the right job for the tool, and um, and nothing is planned. So I want to see the product evolve, and I want to see the code evolve. I have little knowledge of Bun and Elysia and stuff like that. The only experience I had was about a month ago doing a small MVP, just to try it out, and it was nice. So I thought I'd share. And yeah, and the idea is to explore the product together, and that's basically it. So I'm not going to go into what Bun is and how and why and all that stuff. I'm sure you can read. The idea is that it like kind of replaces different tools and different stuff. One of them is like in replacing Node, replacing bundlers, test runners, stuff like that, and it's very fast. Like it's blazing fast, and it's just a joy to use as a developer. And yeah, so let's start. On top of that, we're gonna use like this will take care of a bunch of things. We're gonna use Elysia for a framework for our backend. So they show crazy numbers. If you run Express on Node, you get this amount of requests, and it can handle. And Elysia has about 18 times more. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. You have the details here of what they've done and how and yada yada yada. It doesn't really matter. Like it's what 1 order of magnitude, so it's quite a lot. And the API is very nice. It's very easy. It's like modern Express. That was the feeling. You can have these schemas inside. It's very nice. You can have Swagger with one line of code, which is very nice as well. End-to-end type safety, so it's like, yeah, it's like a TRPC thingy, so you can keep the types from the backend to the client. And yeah, so you have different plugins and stuff like that. Very nice thing to use. Extremely fast as well. For client, I want to try HTMX. So for example, this is one of the reasons that sorry, the TRPC part, this one. So I don't really care for that now, because what I want to do is, at first at least, is do everything as server-side rendering using HTMX, and I'll be trying to avoid as much as I can the use of JavaScript on the client. In such cases that I will have to use JavaScript on the client, I'm thinking about using this one, which, I don't know, I just stumbled upon it somewhere and it looks nice. It's very easy, very naive. It reminds me of AngularJS a bit, which actually I don't like, but but it gives a lot of tools, a lot of stuff we can use. And if we have HTMX that takes care of most of the things we need, then there's no real need for something big, you know, like most of the times you want to have like local states and local stuff. Again, it's an assumption I'm having right now. I don't really know. The idea is to explore these tools. That's what I understood from doing some research on that. And for CSS, I want to try UnoCSS. Why Uno? No particular, like, I'm an emotion kind of guy. I use style components with React usually. So here I decided to use some sort of a CSS framework, only because of the fact that I'm going to use HTMX, and I thought it will be much easier to integrate between the two. And I want to be, like, let's say, framework agnostic in a way. So, and why Uno? I don't know, because everyone's using a Tailwind, and it has pretty much the same API, and it has different nice things. Like, for example, this is something that I really liked, is that in tools like Tailwind, you get these huge classes of stuff, and it's really hard to manage and understand what's going on, and to build a mental model of what the thing is, and what is the purpose of this thing. So they have this nice mode where you can have attributes that define the actual, like, the prefix. So for example, we have the background blue 400 is going to be BG blue 400, like so. Just one example, like that. No, just wanted to try it out. Don't know if it's good, don't know if it's going to behave nicely. Cool. Okay, so now what? So first thing I'm gonna do is use Elysia to install. So we have like ban create Elysia app. And I hope I pronounced it correctly. I think it's Elysia. And that's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna talk about the product and what we're gonna build. So let's start. Let me open up my terminal. Cool. I just created this folder for this project, for this session, and then I'm gonna run ban create Elysia app. Before that, I'm gonna undo that. Okay. I wanna check what version I have of ban. Okay, so let me quickly see. I want to update the dependency now. I want to upgrade, get the latest version of ban upgrade. So I pre-installed ban. I had it from 0.7, I think. Cool, we got the latest. So this is how an upgrade looks like. Let me make the screen a bit, text a bit bigger. I hope it's visible. Can you see my terminal? Okay, so cool. Thanks, Lilon. Awesome. Thank you very much. Cool. So yeah, so this is how an upgrade of in ban looks like. Very nice, quite easy. Nothing to actually do. And let's create our app and let's call it feature request. Okay, so it took 800 milliseconds, which is nice. It installed ban types and Elysia, 8 packages installed. It did it really quickly. And 1 second. So 1 second, sorry about that. Okay. Cool. So let's see what we got. We got feature request. Let's go into feature request. HTMX. Okay. Okay. I'll try to handle docs like so. Okay. I hope it's convenient. Do I set it up? Maybe I'll make it a bit smaller. Okay. Please tell me if it's fine. Let's go. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna see what I got. So this is my index.ts file. Hello Elysia, console log. Let's see if it can run. Ban run dev. Okay, localhost 3000. Okay, so it works. I'm gonna show it in a second. I just want to change the port number because 3000 is something that everyone is using all the time. I don't know why. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna have hello Elysia, everything is working fine. Let's look at what we got here. So ESLint, okay, I'm gonna ignore for that. Like I'm gonna ignore most of the errors that are like lint stuff and maybe TS stuff, because at least at first, because I want to go to the interesting things, get there as soon as possible, and then see what's what. Cannot find console. Do you need to change your target library to okay, let's look. That's weird. That's the first. And Okay, for now I'm gonna ignore that. It seems I kind of want to check it out, but I don't really want to check it out, so I'm gonna skip it for now. The Elysia from what's going on? Okay, let's do the fun things first and let's see how it works. So I'm gonna go for, let's start with Swagger. So I'm gonna add a new package. Great, and I want to install it, so I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I have the app, which is this thing, and yeah, let's do this and let's break it up a bit, and that should be fine. Okay, and yeah, so we want to use, right? We want to use, how do they say, is a function, an empty function. Okay, so basically if I go to /swagger, I should see stuff. Let's see what we got here. Let me refresh, everything is fine. By the way, just to see a quick example of how quick it is. Hey, what's going on? Oh, yeah, sorry. It shouldn't refresh. I'm used to React stuff and HMR and stuff like that. My bad. Okay, so let's see if we have Swagger installed. Cool, so this is our first endpoint. We can try it out. We can execute, so we got the information. This is the response body. Nice. So that's the main thing I'm gonna work with at the moment, just to see how it works. So suppose I wanna, let's do app post full, and let's do return for now. So we have /full with the post, try it out, execute. We got response body full. Okay, cool. Now let's look at things we can use, right? Sorry, I'm looking at Elysia. Okay, I hope it's visible now. See why developers love Elysia. Okay, get started. Concept, performance, simplicity. Okay, so this is how we access params. Cool. So this is the post. Let's take it for a spin. So they have a sign in function that gets a body, and that's the body. Okay. Let's try. Let me console log the body. And where's our Swagger? Okay, and let's try it out. can't I pass? Okay, let's do a weird. I remember you can add stuff. Okay, so I forgot the I can't always forget the syntax for curl. Right, so that's what we want to do. Body undefined. Let's. Okay, not body undefined. Okay, so this is working. For some reason, I can't pass body. Maybe I need to define something first and it will let me. So the syntax was. So this is the actual function and this is the schema. Okay. So let's take it like so. And let's pass it here. Okay, and I want to grab the cool. Example value, so I get the schema. Try it out. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we got the body and we have stuff working. Okay, nice. That was easy. So our backend basically is able to respond. So far, I feel like the experience is nice. Next, so the next thing I want to do is let's hook up the HTML part. Okay, so my goal is to respond with what I got. So let's create a small function over here. We're gonna throw it away in a second or put it elsewhere. So let's go for function. Let's go for foo. For const. Okay, so I get the body and I want to return a div, and here I want to have the username. Okay, so for that I need to change my file to TSX. Okay, it broke, cool. Let me go for ban run dev. Okay, this is the main. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to leave it because I can change the main like they suggest because I'm pointing to TS, but eventually this file shouldn't be a JSX file. So let me quickly create a controllers folder, and let's go with foo TS6. Okay, and let's open foo TS6. Cool. So we are here. I'm gonna take this thing, I'm gonna put it here, and yeah, of course JSX flag is provided. Okay, we're gonna edit and we're gonna edit. Okay, we're gonna add the flag, the JSX, and we're gonna import, yeah, so we want to do return post full body, and here we're gonna change it to post full export, right? So let's import post full, and cool. So we are posting full, so we need to check what's going on here. Cannot use JS6, so we need to go to this config, right? And we have JS6. Now let's see, I think we need to set a factory, and I don't remember. So let's look at plugins. On the plugins, let's go for HTML. Okay. JSX, yeah. The plugin re-exports KitKat HTML, which is JS6 factory, starting string for creating HTML strings from a JS6. Please report JS6 related to the JS6 first. Okay, so he wants these things. Okay. JS6 React. I'm gonna ignore that for a second. Okay, so here is our React, and okay, we have React, we have JS factory as JS6 factory as HTML create element, then we have JS6 fragment, so we're gonna have HTML fragment, and plugins. Okay, and again, I'm gonna ignore that for a second. I don't know why, but I really wanna. Okay, so it's running. Cannot find variable HTML. Okay, so it could be the plugin. I'm gonna do it now. So bun install. It made a strong case. Great. We have this thing, and let's add the plugin row. Let's drop it here. Cool. Let's see. Any questions, by the way? Or anything I should refer to? Nope, all good. Thank you for your cooperation. Much appreciated for not letting me be here alone in the dark. Cool. What else did we want to do? Should add the emoticons on the stream. Emote icons. Wanna tell me how? Through stream elements. Let's see. What do I need to do there? How do I set it up? I don't need more fans. Yeah, I don't remember how to do these kind of things. I can try it out and say, you know what? Let's give it a quick try if it's quick. Let's see. I'm on the other monitor, as you can probably guess. Okay, later. You made your point. Cool. So we have this. Let me, before I go and do that, I'm gonna do this. Right. Oh yeah. I need to install HTML. Right. I need to install it here. Okay. And I'm just gonna use it here, like our swagger. Okay, things should do something. Cannot find Elysia HTML, but oh yeah, okay. So far what I like is that it's kind of fast. I like it. And so far no big issues. TypeScript seems to work. Let's see, post full body. What are you complaining about? Okay, the extra space was an issue for him. Ban run dev. Let's see, localhost 9000. Okay, so let me export const get root, and let's work with the get in the browser, which is nice. Hey Raj Grak, how you doing? Welcome. So what I'm gonna do now is just return this thing, and I want to see if it works. And here I'm gonna respond with get root, and let's open the browser and let's look at not the Swagger. Cannot find variable get root. It's usually best to import stuff. Okay, we got it. Root. Okay, so we have HTML or JSX is working for us. What does it say here? JSX element implicitly has any type. Because no interface. Okay, I'm not gonna deal with it now. Again, I don't like, maybe soon. I want to get to the important thing, the interesting things. Okay, what else we got? Pam param 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 param. Okay, so let's see. We have band set up. We have HTML set up. We have a schema for body. I can investigate things like why console is throwing an error and what is binding element body implicitly has an any type. That's interesting because it should be defined. Let me see if there's a problem with my TS server. Might be. Okay, seems like it's fine. Okay, yeah, just restarted my server and it's fine. No ESLint configuration found. Well, I think I have something that a plugin that reads ESLint configs in my Vim, in my NeoVim setup, so I can add an ESLint, but maybe later. Cool. So we have that. Let's set up HTMX and let's see how it works. So where is our HTMX? Here it, okay, here it is. Let me make it a bit smaller. Okay, so I want to first install it to have the setup and then to talk about like why and how and what's the idea behind it. And once we have this initial thing working for us, then let's talk about the product and why I choose this setup and why I want to try it out real hard. Okay, so the idea, the very basic idea of HTMX is that, I think the major part of the work we're gonna do here is gonna be like mostly HTMX, I think, because as you can see, Ban and Elysia are quite straightforward. Like we're gonna structure the project a bit better and stuff like that, but I really like as a client, like I do full stack, but I'm coming from the front end world, and I wanna check out like the new stuff, because I think if HTMX can deliver and the tests that I wanna do, if they pass, then it might be a real revolution, because it solves a lot of problems that we have in development these days, and if they do it properly, then it's a huge win for everyone. So yeah, so that's what I want to do. The idea is that, and we'll tackle it in more detail soon, but the idea is that you can, through attributes, okay, so you have their runtime loaded and in your HTML quite easily, and then you have like different attributes that you can use for interacting with the DOM, and you don't actually need to write any JavaScript or very little. So for example, here a click on this thing will trigger a post request to /clicked, and it's gonna, the response, which is HTML, is gonna replace this thing. So if you think about it, it's very powerful, because in front-end world, I don't know, React, pretty much any framework, so you have to write a lot of JavaScript to cope with this. You need to write the function that communicates with the backend. You need to have the DTOs. You need to maintain everything. You need to manage everything. You need to name stuff. You need like, and you add kilobytes and kilobytes of code. And in essence, the only thing you really want to do is like get info from the backend and display it to the user quickly. Like this is your incentive, and try to be happy while doing that. And I think that if you keep the state on the backend, like they kind of propose, it gives you a lot of I want to say flexibility, but like, you know what? Let me get back to that later after we see some code, because it's really hard to do it like so without actual code. So let's jump in. Let's go for docs. I'm going for installation, and we're gonna use the CDN. So for that, first we need to have some HTML, right? So let me HTML body example. I'm lazy. No, come on. HTML I'm gonna ask my friend ChatGPT because I don't remember by heart and I don't have the Emmet plugin installed. Thank you, ChatGPT. And let's replace that with that. Okay, my formatter doesn't want to format it for some reason. That's interesting. I'll look into it later. I don't think I have stuff like pretty and stuff like that installed. Okay, so let's go back to our bait gateway. What am I doing wrong? Syntax error, HTML. Doc type. What? Ah, double tilde. Okay. Let's see if it works. Hello world, this is a simple HTML page. Great, we have something simple. I want to see how we... some of the things we're going to investigate is how you route, how you change route, how you manage these kind of things. Okay. Sorry. So let's start with HTMX. We have this thing, CDN, very simple. I'm gonna throw it here. Do they suggested? First, you can simply add it to the head tag. Let's put it in the head tag. Okay, and we have our HTML, simple HTML page. And let's start with a button. Click me. And we said that we want to have hx post equals slash foo, right? And hx swap equals outer HTML. So I'm refreshing, I have my click me, let me open my inspect, let me make it a bit smaller. Liron, can you tell me if you see the fonts of the DevTools properly? If it's comfortable to see? As a viewer, or Raj Grak? Yeah, looks good, okay to me. Awesome, thank you. Chat is on the way. Hey, what's chat? Ah, okay, like you mean there's a lag? Okay, I'm gonna assume yeah. Okay, no, there's most likely in your layout. Okay, it's like it's pretty much the first time I stream, so I'm probably not doing something wrong, but Liron is here to help me. Ah, okay, got it. Okay, I'll take that into account. Okay, yeah, I see it on my preview as well now. Cool, thanks for the feedback. Yeah, so the HTML is very simple, so I'm gonna just drag it out and cool. So let's see what happens with the network. So first of all, let's refresh the entire thing. All. So we have the localhost. Localhost gave us this thing. Cool, text HTML. and it got HTMX, the version, and the minified stuff. Great. They weigh 15K for the HTMX min, which is kind of nice. I like it. And so everything should be extremely fast. Like, yeah, we have a small thing, 500 bytes, 24 milliseconds. We can compare it with something very simple, but like something with like React to see the bundle sizes, but I won't do it. Waste of time. Click me. Okay, so we went to foo. Great, everything went fine, and we got a response, invalid body username expected string. Okay, cool. So it threw an error over here. Awesome. On this type. So our schema validation worked, and we had a little, like almost no effort from our end, right? So let's quickly, let's think. I want to try to make it optional, just to see how it works, just to explore the docs. That's one. And two, maybe let's make it a form and collect this user data and submit it to the backend. And let's see how it goes, okay? So let's start. So we're in the context of, yeah, this is Elysia, right? We are, sorry, that's Uno. Get started. Cool. And patterns. So let's see what we have. Lazy loading, dependency injection, WebSocket, error handling. Okay, so let's start with error handling. Yeah, we didn't talk about it. So on error, okay. So currently we got no preview, and we have this response, which is okay. This is something we can send. Let's see what this thing gives us. With on-error, you can cache and transform the error into your custom error messages. It's important that on-error must be called before the handler you want to apply it to. For example, 404, okay, local custom error message. Okay, so we can have this. So it's very much like Zod or Yap or Joy. Custom error. Okay, so we can have these kind of things. Very nice. For now, let's go for the most basic one, just to see how it affects stuff. So let's go to our middleware place. Okay, we have a restart, and let's see how this thing behaves. I refresh, click me. Okay, so we got a response. That's nice. What did we write? Error to string, return new response. Okay, so let's not return it. Let's, for example, log it. And I don't know, let's do something like that. No, let's, because okay, before I've added that, I had click me, and okay, so nothing happened, and I think it's a nice UX at the moment. Like I don't, let's, okay, so let's see if I return undefined, would it, and let's of course console log our thingy here. Okay, refresh, click, okay. So I got the error over here, which is nice. I got the response over here. Okay, cool. So awesome. I'm not gonna, like, I am gonna use this in a second because it's a form and this is the validation. So it's very nice that I got like this validation response, and I can actually give it back to the user really easily. And I hope you can see, like, from like it's very powerful, right? Look how much code we didn't write. So even things like Swagger, okay, two lines like the import and the actual use, bringing HTML in, extremely easy. Like everything is like kind of easy and makes sense so far. I don't know, we'll probably meet other use cases where things are a bit more complex. That's what I'm looking for, because everyone's doing a simple to-do list, and that's not the thing we're gonna do here. So I find it kind of great. So almost no code, and we got this thing working very nicely. So let's add a form. So how we're gonna do that? Okay, let's create a function that's gonna create a form. Okay, simple JSX, simple React, right? Like React style. And one of the things I like here, and I'm gonna talk, I think, a lot about it, is form full form, is the fact that I think that React, by introducing hooks, did created an issue, and many projects suffer from the same problem where people just misuse hooks and they create very complex. Hi Fubar, nice of you to come here. Basically, we're trying out a ban with Elysia JS and HTMX and some new tooling in the JavaScript ecosystem. We're going to build a nice product. I'm going to talk about the product itself in a second after I finish. You know what? Let's talk about the product now, because you asked. So I want to build an app that it's like a centralized hub or platform for feature requests. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Imagine you're using some sort of a product, I don't know, like Spotify, okay, and you want them to add a feature. So you either, like most people, do nothing about it and they rant about the fact that they can't have their awesome feature, and the company doesn't really know that you want this feature. So some companies, they create a section for a feature requests, but you really need to like usually look for that. Okay, I'll give you an example. The tool I used to use called Favro, and Favro feature request. It's like a ClickUp, like a Monday, like Trello. Okay, basically some sort of a Kanban. And the idea here is you can, for example, ask for something, submit a feature request. Okay. So you see, this is their app. You can ask for something and people can vote on that, and that way the company gets signals for this thing. The problem with that is, like I said, that many companies either don't have this thing or users don't know there's a thing like that. So what I want to do is very simple. I want to have a list where, like a form where a person can come in, create a new issue, give a title, give some details, and people can vote on that. And we're gonna have like different features that I wrote down. I'll elaborate in a second. Where, for example, if you create a new feature, yeah. So yeah, many people don't know that. Like, let's see. I'm just interested in. Let's try Spotify feature request. Suggest a feature. Idea submission. So you have the ideas, board, and community, and like you see, it's a struggle, right? Now the cool thing is that imagine you're coming in and you are adding a feature for, like, asking a feature for Spotify. So I'm gonna ask you who is the company you are referring to, and that way we can, if this thing will grow and we'll manage to build it as I'm imagining it, then we can call Spotify and say, hey guys, we have a bunch of people that like really want stuff from you guys and check it out, and they can claim and own the space and stuff like that. So, but let's start from the beginning. So the very basic layout, and let me real quick add a drawing. I'm gonna open Firefox. Okay, cool, great. So let me open Excalidraw. Great. Okay, so what we want, basically we have a title, right? We have a short description, then we have a counter, right? So we have counter. I think we should have like, I'm gonna change it to upvotes and downvotes. I don't know if I'm gonna display both to the user, but at least I wanna keep track of these, like ready to do it, right? So you have the upvotes there, and maybe show the net over here. We'll probably want to add comments, I think, right? Like favor feedback. So let's see, details, titles. Okay, so we have this. Yeah, so we have the comments. So we're gonna drop comments over here. Thank you for the follow. And thank you, Raj, just seeing you leaving. Thank you for joining. So we have comments, right? So I'm doing two things here. I'm kinda laying out the structure of, where is my Presentify? Okay, cool, awesome. So, and let me go back. Cool. So this is, I'm on the one hand I'm structuring this thing, on the other hand I'm trying to understand what things we're gonna have behind the scenes. Okay, and one thing that you probably don't see me mentioning here is databases, and the reason for that is that I believe that the client or the product should dictate the database. I prefer doing some UI first and understand how different entities interact before I, let's say, close it and put it in a database, and then I need to migrate or run some different stuff and build schemas, and then things change. So it's a lot harder to make these changes when you're a young startup. So once we'll have the actual interfaces and actual objects, we can talk about how we want to structure SQL, NoSQL, yada, yada, yada. I'm relying on the Beth stacks, so they use Torso, which is like a distributed database that's based off SQLite, if I remember correctly. By the way, let me open it up. Torso tech. So it looks promising and interesting. Different people say things about it. It looks nice. I don't really care for scale, and I like, at least now, but I will use it just for the API and just to experience something new. I've never used SQLite, so that's also gonna be a nice thing to experience. But again, I'm gonna do it later. Cool. By the way, should I use video? Like, I feel awkward like using a camera. Does it matter? I don't know. Sure, why not? Yeah, you just want to see things burn, right? Everyone? Let me see OBS real quick. Video capture device. That's me. Can you see me? Let's try. I don't know. You can't see me. Why not? Because I need to. Okay. You should see me now. Okay, cool. By the way, Diffubao, how did you get here? Out of curiosity. La la la. Walking around. Cool. Awesome. You're a dev? Are you a developer? Cool. What's your stack? What's your usual stack? Okay, I'm gonna keep going because I don't know if you're right. Okay, React, cool. I'm new to this streaming thing, so I don't know how to actually manage chat and talking. So thanks for the patience. Cool. So where were we? We talk about the database. Right. Okay. So the thing I want to do now is something. Okay. So we had the XKLD draw. Okay. Cool. 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 So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the form we did, the foo. Let's tidy it up a bit. Let's create something like, for example, a feature submission. Right. Let's set up the routes, the controllers, all that stuff, and let's create a real endpoint. So before we continue, git init, created a new git, and let's jump into committing git s. What do you mean? Something's weird. One second. My Zash plugin doesn't work. Or alias. Okay, cool. So let's look. We have package.json, SOC, tsconfig, ban, log, SOC controller. A nice tool I really like is LazyGit. In case you don't know it, it's a really nice way of managing and working with Git in the CLI. By the way, I try to do. Yeah, I don't know if I can with Amplify. This is one of the things we're gonna check as well, because actually I have no idea how I'm gonna deploy it. Yeah, I'm a big Netlify fan. Most of the apps I'm deploying for myself and my clients are through Netlify, the easiest, the cheapest. I usually do React and SPAs and if I need some marketing website or stuff like that, or SEO, I tend to use Gatsby. I know Astro is new and looks good, and Quick looks really nice, but I'm into checking this thing because it's gonna change. Or I think if they do what they claim they do, the HTMX guys, then I honestly believe it can be a quite a revolution in the dev world. It can catch like fire. So lazy git, I hope it answers your question. So I'm gonna do an initial commit, package JSON, yada yada yada. Okay, I'm hitting C for commit, and I'm gonna do initial commit, and let's write that we have a ban, Elysia. What else we installed? HTMX. Seems to work nicely. Tab, enter, we made a commit. Cool. So one thing I like to do is create a plan file, and before I do that, okay, plan MD. Okay, so I have this file, so I want to echo planmd into git ignore, and I have my git ignore. Oh, I meant planmd. Okay, thank you. And yeah, so let's talk about the plan. Let's write it down. So let's write 19th 9/23. So we're talking about creating the following. We want to have we want to submit a title, string, and this disk string. I'm gonna do the full thing, description, string, and that's what we want to submit, right? Let's call it feature post feature, right? What else? Okay, once we submit it, okay. Before that, okay. When the app loads, we want to fetch a list of features. Let's do get features, and then we want to do the following. Okay, we want to have an upvote. Want to have an upvote. Oh, let's do it like write a beta, like a user story. A user should be able to upvote a request. I'm gonna write FR from now on, feature request. And then we're gonna have a downvote, right? User should be able to comment on an FR, right? tam. Okay, so after we post it, after success, a new item should be added to the list. Cool. Why don't I have my... No, it should fetch it as weird. It should recognize it as a markdown file and give me some nice syntax. For some reason it doesn't. Okay, so sounds like a plan, right? Now the cool part here is most of the work is going to be done on the backend, and yeah, so let's take a look. So first thing is let's create a group for feature. I'm gonna okay. So what do I mean by group? So usually we have routes and controllers in different files and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go to Elysia and I'm gonna do a group. Suppose you have many paths with the same prefix, user sign in, yada yada yada. So I'm gonna have user. Okay, so first of all we're gonna do v1 and you can have as many as you'd like. Prefix user. Okay, so I kind of like this approach. Okay, so we're gonna have like a feature or features with this prefix, and then that's how we're gonna manage it, and these will be our controllers. Okay, and we're gonna have the v1 prefix. Let me copy paste it for 1 second. I'm gonna drop it here. Later on I'm gonna put it in a different file. So let me work here and drop it here, and I have many terminals open. Cool. So we're gonna have features, and can I use, instead of new Elysia, I'm gonna do a, can I use app group? Okay, let's start with app group v1. Features. Let's look at our Swagger real quick for that. Localhost 9000 Swagger. Great, we have v1. Try it out, execute using v1. Okay, that's working. Now we want to see, can I use like instead of use features, get okay, I don't want this, right? We want, okay, what am I missing? Okay, I'm probably missing something stupid. New Elysia. Okay, the thing is, I'm just interested if I can work directly with the app, but for now I don't wanna waste time on that. So let me just do what they suggest. Maybe maybe I'm missing something here, like so, and that's why it's complaining. Let's see. Bad gateway. What have I forgotten? I have an extra brace, bracket, brace, I always forget. Okay, v1 user. Okay, so that worked. Cool, so we have the v1 user and feels like I can kill this. Okay, so we have the v1 user, great. Up group v1, we use the features, cool, and we got the user back. So let me make sure that the response is correct, and that's great. Awesome. So and by the way, yeah, of course, features, feature. I always forget. Let's go with features with plural. V1 features, great. So this thing should give us a list, right? We're talking about this one. The uploads, we want to fetch a list of features, get slash features. So let's deal with the fetch part first. Okay, I want to play with a HTMX. So here I am gonna do something like div hx get slash features tools. Okay, and now I want to first of all, let's see how it behaves. Okay, so I see it did nothing, and I think I know why. Like I kind of know why. Okay, div great. So here, and this is something that is nice in HTMX that I like, is that you see on the button I don't write on click anywhere, right? It just kind of understands that, okay, I'm a button, if I'm being clicked, then it derives what it needs. So this is very nice. But now I'm gonna use triggers. Okay, so I have Ajax. Okay, so we can have these basic CRUDs and triggering requests, and you can see that we have this part. Okay, so mouse enter, once mouse like div foobar. You said you're doing React. I'm doing React as well. So in essence, this is use effect with an empty dependency array minus the React ecosystem bullshit. Like, that's extremely powerful, right? And the chances that a developer will come into my JavaScript now and introduce a bug here, it's kind of zero in this use case, I think. I hope you see it totally wrong, or if you think otherwise, feel free. I mean, interested in your feedback. I'm trying to make this like an interactive development, so feel free to jump in and give me your opinion. Okay, so basically, okay, cool. I want a trigger. So basically, the trigger I want to do is onload because it's what we want to do. So you see I have key up, change, delay, mouse enter once every 2 seconds. So look at polling, amazing. All the debouncers and stuff like that that we always write in JavaScript, no need for that. Even indicators for loading stuff, beautiful. Cool, coming. Hi, new viewer. Present yourself. Okay, so let me see the list of triggers. Trigger modifiers, maybe. Oh, this is the ones and stuff like that. Change. I think I remember onload. I'm looking for the list. Webpack. No, leave me alone. trigger, click. Once change delay throttle from target queue load. Non-started events. There are some additional non-started events that HTMX supports. Trigger on load, useful for lazy loading something. Okay, revealed. This is actually really nice. Triggered when an element is scrolled into viewport. This is beautiful. I love it. So let's go with load first. Okay, so we want this thing to be triggered on load. HX trigger load. I think once is redundant here. Kind of feels like it. Let's refresh. So let's see if anything changed. I'm getting 404. Yeah, I don't have the API v1. Are we doing v1? Yeah, I'm usually doing API v1, but that's cool. Let me do API because I'm used to it, and I'm gonna do this mistake quite a lot. Okay, refreshing features. Okay, so it fires on load. Awesome. Shit's working. Cool. Not found. Let's see, why aren't you found? API1, API v1 slash features should have given us user, right? Like if I go here, features, let me refresh, API v1 features, try it out, execute, I got a user back. API v1 features, let's look at this fella. v1 features, so it's still going to the wrong place. I probably forgot. Okay, so now it should be fine. I probably forgot to save. Okay, amazing. This is our user. Cool. I don't know how about you, but I think okay, so before I read your message, I think it's kind of amazing because like we have a bunch of things going on, zero code. Like being able to do it in some little lines of code, I think it's amazing. Div foobar. Hey, if I can suggest something, maybe changing the OBS layout, the height of the chat, since it looks like that it's not so active. This way you could avoid some overlapping when you get to 1K file and make bigger again. It kind of bugs me, at least when you're on Vim. Sure thing, no problem. Let me do it quickly. Overlays, edit. Cool. Okay, I hope I don't need to refresh, right? Like I made the change, but does it apply immediately, or do I need to? No, it seems fine. It should be smaller. Yeah, it is smaller, right? Div bar, would love to get your feedback. Is it better now? Amazing, cool. Great, so we are back. What did we discuss? Where were we? Oh, yeah, so let's summarize real quick the point we're at now. So I've grouped all my APIs like so. I've created a new group of feature endpoints like so. Currently I don't have the control. I'm gonna create it next. My plan was we want to fetch features, so get features working, and all I had to do is basically write a div that does the Ajax, and the trigger is load. Now, just to convince you, our user, you see we have user, we don't have anything else, right? Let's go for let's try delay, just so we can play around with stuff. I want to see it happen, the change happens. So we have the okay. I read the word delay somewhere. Delay, yeah. So delay and wait the given amount of time, 1 second before issuing. Okay. So let's do 10 seconds and just see the thing happen. Where do I do it? HX on the trigger. Yeah, on the trigger. Cool. So I'm gonna say delay. Let's do 10 seconds. And let me open our amazing app and on the elements. So we have click me, we have this div, we have the delay 10 seconds. Oh, I did 10,000 seconds, sorry. Let me refresh with 10 seconds. The wait game. And we got our request. Beautiful. And again, the fact that I could do it in so little code, it's amazing in my opinion. Great. So now we need to take a list. How are we gonna do it? Okay, so let's start with a basic controller. Okay, so we have the controllers. We have the, I'm gonna do a features lib, and I'm gonna do post feature. A tool TSX. So we have the post feature, and I'm gonna do the post feature spec TSX, maybe TS, and let's see what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna do export const. We called it post feature, and our body will be let's create a folder called types, and in types let's start with index. I'll throw it around later. And here I want to do the following. I want to do export interface feature, or feature request, and we're gonna do a padam. So we're gonna have an ID for sure. We're gonna have a title. Now the ID, I'm gonna omit the ID for a second, because when we create a new one, we won't have an ID. Let's go for the basic first, string and description string. Cool. So that's what we have, and our body is feature request. Cool. So we got everything. Great. And our controller, so this is a post feature, and actually that's not what I wanted, but cool. Let me add get features TS6 and get features spec TS6. So export const get features return, let's do UL. I might install Emmet to make things a bit simpler. Let me drink something. I'm dying here. Been talking for almost 2 hours. Cool. So I'm gonna do this. Let's make a small check that things work. So let me go back to my index, and instead of users, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do get features. Okay. It can't find my controllers features, get features, export const. Okay, so before I do that, let me go to my controllers. I'm gonna do index.ts export all from feature request, no, from post feature, default bar, you'll do it tdd, asking because you're doing the spec files too. Yeah, so yeah, I want to do tdd. Usually the way I do tdd is, especially on the client, I do tdd for utils, for functions, for JavaScript. And for components, I use Cypress component tests and Cypress end-to-end tests. And yeah, so here for now, like I want to create the get features flow, and then I want to see how I'm gonna test it. Like, how do we test HTMX, HTML? I might not do it today because it feels like a big topic and I'm a bit tired, but we can check it out together. Great. Export post feature, yeah, and we want to export all from get features. Okay, I have this, and one thing I'm missing is under controllers. I want to create index.ts, and that's export all from features. Great. So we connected all these things, and now I should be able to import get features from controllers. No trailing slashes. That kind of should work. Let's check it out. So I have this thing. I'm gonna remove the silly delay because there's no need for that. Oi. And we got the feature one. Woohoo! Works. Cool. Let's talk about testing. Let's check it out. So we can argue that getting a list of features is, I think it can be marked as done. Now again, once we'll have the post, after that I'm going to set up the most basic persistence. I've seen that Ban introduced built-in support for something. I think it was SQLite. So we're going to whatever they offer us, and we're gonna see how it works. So pum 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 pum. By the way, Difubar, I just realized that you said when you get 1,000 followers. Thank you for your belief. Much appreciated. Okay, so let's look at some band docs. Okay. Ecosystem, elegant API, speed, cohesive DX, blah blah blah, JS6 just works. That's funny because with Elysia it didn't work. We had to configure some stuff. So yeah, compiler options, how JS6 constructs a transpiled output create element. Okay, great. So this is how it works behind the scenes. That's what we've done basically. Great. Logging. Bun implements special logging for JS6 to make debugging easier given the following file. Oh, that's very nice. That's very considerate. Yeah, cool. Can't wait to try it. Prop panning. The bun runtime also supports prop panning for JSX. This is a shorthand syntax useful for assigning variable to a prop with the same name. Oh, beautiful. This is one of the things I hate about standard JSX. And I think, if I remember correctly, there is another place that does it. I forgot who does. I think it's Rescript. And yeah, it's much nicer. Cool. So I don't know why I got to JSX, but let's look at bundler test runner. Define test with just like API imported from the built-in bun test module. Long-term bun aims to complete jest compatibility. At the moment, a limited set of expect matches are supported. Let's just quickly look at it together. To contain equal, to throw error matching snapshot. So I think, yeah, it's a matter of time until they're gonna have these things. So I don't know. One thing I can say that yeah, exactly, looking at JS6 because I'm missing React. Yeah, I'm doing too much React for too many years. I think for about 7 or something like that. I can say that using plain vtest or jest simply worked, and I actually ran a test in the project I have where, if I'm not mistaken, it ran like vtest, which is supposed to be fast, ran all the tests in about 32 seconds, if not mistaken, and Ban did it in about 1.5 seconds. It was crazy. As in Jest, you can use describe, test, expect, and other functions without importing them. Unlike Jest, they are not injected into the global scope. Instead, the bun transpile will automatically inject and import bun tests internally. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna do that. Let's see if they have anything about, well, they shouldn't have anything about. Okay, oh yeah, nice. DOM testing. Buns test runner plays well with existing component and DOM testing libraries, including React testing library and Happy DOM. I don't know what Happy DOM is. Let's look. Like, I heard the name and never opened it. Happy DOM is a JavaScript implementation of web browser with other graphical user interface. It includes many web standards from. Okay, so focuses heavily on performance and can be used as an alternative to the JS DOM. So working with JS DOM and testing with JS DOM in React, I personally I can't stand it because blazingly fast. The amount of things they miss, and uh, like one time I had a table with infinite scroll, and like the infinite scroll was introduced in quite a late stage, so we had many things. Hey, new viewer, welcome. We're building a great app with ban and HTMX and other new tools, so welcome. So regarding the table story with React, with JS DOM React testing library, uh, we had quite a lot of tests. It was quite a complex table, and the product team asked us to add infinite scroll instead of pagination. And then we couldn't test it because there was no concept of scrolling in JS DOM, at least not then. And like, and then I had a situation where I had a lot of code testing different behaviors, and then I can't test some of the things, and that's really really annoying. So you either introduce a new way of testing things, or you take the risk of it not working properly, and maintaining several ways of testing, I think it's awful. So since that experience, I dropped the React testing library and all that stuff altogether. So I don't know, maybe Happy DOM is great. But okay, let's see. So we have the Happy DOM, DOM test, inner query selector button to equal my button. We can try this. Let's see if our guys at HTMX has any reference to testing in there. So we have debugging, configuring. Let's look for test. No, I don't see any validation, animations, extensions, event debugging, scripting. By the way, yeah, they have like some sort of a scripting thing. That's how I got to Alpine.js, by the way, from here. And they have a hyperscript that is made by them. So we can also, so many tests in words. English sucks. Huh? Not sure I follow. I'm tired, so I don't know. What do you mean? Um, Tum. I feel like I'm saying so too much. Difubar Snug Life said, "Oh, got it. Latest. Yeah. Sorry about about this glitch. Um, so we can try it. Let's give it a try. Let's hope it's gonna work. So we're going for the band testing with. They are doing this Happy DOM. For writing headless tests for foreign code, we recommend Happy DOM. Happy DOM implements making it possible to simulate run with high fidelity. To get started, install the Happy DOM global package as a dev dependency. So let's drop it. By the way, let me quickly remove the node modules, and let me do ban I. So it took it 114 milliseconds to reinstall everything else. Now this is crazy, stupid, fast, and I watched a video on YouTube. I forgot who it was, and that says that think it's Theo, and he said that he checked how come it's faster than PNPM, and he got to the fact that a PNPM, when they run it and check your cache, they always check. They do a network request to check whether there's a newer or better version. and ban doesn't do it. So for example, if we have ban types 102 and they already have 103, so I will not know about it unless I explicitly look for this. So if I do ban help, so there is an upside and a downside for that. I think that I prefer it not fetching and giving me a faster installation, because I want to keep the versions I'm using, and B, usually when I do RMRF on non-modules, I want to get back to work as soon as possible. So so the fact that it's being done in 100 milliseconds, it's a huge win. And I personally believe that updating packages, it should be done like not something on the go. It should be done every time, and something that should be managed. Lots of word, inconvenient, lol, whoa, that fixes so many version inconsistency between machines. Yeah, again, take it with a grain of salt. I haven't explored it myself, and I'm like, yeah, this is something to check. It's interesting. By the way, we can look at node modules. So this is how it looks like. If I understood correctly, they do symlinks on Linux, and I forgot what it's doing on Mac. We can look it up. I don't really care for that at this point. So we wanted to test. So let's do ban run test. Oh yeah, let me do bat package JSON, and the script we have is test. So let's do no test specified. Okay, ban run test. Of course, yeah. Ban test. Yeah. Okay, so I'm running ban test. So you found the specs, and it took 18 milliseconds, which is fine. By the way, ban have a nice. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I laughed so bad when I saw it the first time. See ban test documentation. They showed that, yeah, performance. So let's look at this. Benchmark 1 is jest version, and it took it 77 milliseconds to run, okay, to print out the version. Benchmark 2, whip test React DOM, 54 milliseconds. So running that is faster than getting the version of jest. I just love it. Wait, sorry, how did I? Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So let's look at get features spec. So we have the get features. Let me make this side a bit smaller. Let me close you. I'm on get features, and I'm going to get features spec. Let me reverse that. I prefer get features here, and I want to do tdd and go here, and I'm gonna do import describe not from Mocha but from ban test, right? Did I do it correctly? Run test, ban test, expect, and test. So let's take this thing. Let's first make sure it's working properly. Okay, we have this sheet, and you see 12 milliseconds, 2 plus 2. Amazing, one pass. So just to illustrate the speed, very nice. We're getting it instant feedback. the first run is very quick, and then the watch reacts really fast. This is one of the things I really don't like about Jest and Vitas. Like, they are quick, but I want to have a real instant feedback, and sometimes I don't even see if it really made a change, so I fail tests on purpose because it's too fast if it's a thing. Great, so let's see. We're testing. Oh, let's describe. Let's add a describe block, and let's do described get features, and here let's test. I personally prefer the it keyword. I don't know if they have the it function. Do they support it? Cannot find module ban test. Do I need to install it separately? Run test, ban test. No, it works. Okay, so it should work. Okay, it should work. Cool. Just one word about the why I prefer it. It's because how it makes me write the actual tests over here, so I can do it should work, it should do X, it should yada yada yada. So get features. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to think about this right now. Let's look at their example. We're talking about bundler, we're talking about testing, and then we go ahead and okay, band test. Cool, watch mode with preload, script preloading with, I don't know what it means, but we can check it out in a second. I wanted to check the mocks. Okay, they have a pre-built like no predefined, I don't know. They give us mocks. Sorry again, I'm terribly tired. Snapshot testing, UI and DOM testing. So DOM testing library, React testing library for complete documentation. Let's look at this, happy DOM. Okay, so let's add this thing. We have it. Then we'll be using Bounce preload functionality to register the happy DOM globals before running our test. This step will make browser APIs like document available in global scope. Create a file called happy-dom.ts in the root of your project and add the following code. So we have happy-dom.ts. So let's echo this into happy-dom.ts, happy-dom.ts, bat happy-dom.ts, and we have it. Cool. To preload the file before ban test, open or create banfig toml file and add the following lines. Okay, banfig toml, banfig. So let's echo this into banfig toml. And let's see that we have this file, banfig. Great, we have all that. To preload this file, okay, this will execute happy-dom.ts when you run ban test. Now you can write tests that use the browser API like document and window. Okay, so let's give it a try. And let's drop it here. It says that it should put document on the global. I'll probably need to make some adjustment to tsconfig. Yeah, okay, depending on your tsconfig setup, you may see cannot find name document, type error in the code above to inject the type for document, adding the following triple slash directed to the left. Libdom, then can't I just add libdom to the tsconfig? I think I should be able to. dumb. I think it should do the trick. I don't like I don't like adding these references because it's like kind of polluting the code, polluting the module. It should just work. Let's see if it did. Oh, I want to go here. Let's try restarting my TS server. Seems like it's fine. It got on. Yeah, okay. Now, I don't know if you feel the way I do, but like things work too smoothly. You know what I mean? Like, look how many things I've managed to do in about 2 hours. And like, look at this. Usually my experience in, I don't know, from Webpack to, I don't know, Vite or SWC, you config stuff. Suddenly SWC release a version and it breaks in Vite, and you need to wait for Vite to release a version, and many times I find myself maintaining packages for my clients and doing this behind the scenes infrastructure work, which is kind of tedious. And the fact that I've managed to do all these, like, I didn't even Google once anything, right? And even there, I'm getting here about ESLint is just because I haven't configured ESLint yet or didn't do ESLint init. So I'm kind of sure that it will work. Diff bar, first of all, don't feel bad. My plan is to generate YouTube videos out of this thing. So I created a YouTube channel. I never made videos like that before, so I hope I'll have them soon, and it will be a bit more summarized than I'm doing it now. So you will have everything, and I hope it's gonna be good. Add it in the description of the channel. What, the channel of YouTube, like the my YouTube channel? Edit stream info. Title. We're building an awesome app with Ban, Elysia, HTMX, and more new stuff. Go live notification. Okay. Category engineering. I want to add a category. Okay, let's see. A category. Why isn't it engineering? No. A diff bar, can you help out with a nice category for the stream so that software and game development? Okay, that's kind of what we do. Add tags to help viewers find you. So JavaScript, right? Wow, the load times they have are crazy. They should use HTMX. What else we have? I don't know. Ban, Elysia, HTMX, SaaS product. In a way, like it's gonna evolve into something like that. Stream language English, content labels, rerun, branded content done. Okay, how do I add a description now? Clip that, rate channel, manage goals, target. Okay, I'll look it up later on. I'll check it out. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, Okay, so we wanted to see whether the test run. So ban test watch, happy test preload, happy test DOM, unexpected. Hi new viewer, how you doing? We're building a new app with ban and other cool stuff. I think that in the channel labels you could add the HTMX. Yeah, I will do that. You know what? Channel labels. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. It's boring. I don't want to keep you on that. Thank you Snug Life for the follow. Appreciate it. Means a lot. So we wanted to, let me go back to what we wanted to do. We have the banfig file, banfig toml, and it complains about this. Maybe it's better with a string. Okay. So remember I said that everything worked too well. So here it goes from, okay, what it is, expected string but found at. Let's look at, okay, kind of makes sense. We had the happy dom ts. Yeah, probably the echo of what I've done killed it. Great, amazing. 33, like 1 millisecond. Oh my god. Get feature should work. Okay, I don't know. I'm suspicious. It works too well. So let's break it. Controllers, features, get feature spec. Let's go for add my button. Okay, expect received. Great. So we have the DOM tests. Okay, but that's not what we actually test here, right? Like this is only one part. The second and more interesting part is basically this is a controller, so we need to pass in a request and we want to get a certain HTML back. Given a different request, we want to get a different HTML. I don't want to go into that right now before we have some sort of a persistence mechanism, and we're going to have something in memory for tests, and it requires a bit of digging in the documentation and setting it up. I've been streaming for more than 2 hours, so it's a bit too much for me now, and it's local 10 p.m. So I won't. This is something we're gonna do on a different stream. So let's look at the plan. So we have tests. We have tests. Let me drop an X. Add basic DOM tests. So that's done. We want to submit. Okay, so I think we're gonna stop here. So we'll add, so for the next time we're gonna do the submission part, and we'll probably add the testing, and we'll add the persistence, right? So let me drop here thoughts for next time. Basic persistence. I hope I wrote it correctly. What else we have? We want to set up tests for controllers and go TDD on the rest of the features. Yeah, regarding the lazy git. So it's beautiful. I love it. Let me show you real quick to make it easier for you to get into it. So you get this nice UI. Now you have several panes over here. You have this one. You have, okay, let me change the color. It's a bit, let's go for pink. So we have this pane, we have this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And you can play around with them. So first of all, if you don't know anything, you have some help over here at the bottom. And so if you don't know something and you're located somewhere, just do a question mark and you get a list of things you can do. So you see here I'm under files and I can quickly have a preview of what I'm gonna commit. So hitting a space bar basically stages the file. And now what's cool here is that you can do for an entire folder, and hitting enter collapses the tree. Okay, so it's very easy to navigate. So let's go for this, and we have this thing, and we have this thing, and we have an empty file over there. And for TS6, let's keep it. We want the index. For the types, we have this index. This is the server we introduced. And git ignore. Okay, so let's look at git ignore. So I have ban plan md, which shouldn't be there. Like something is off. So I hit enter and I can navigate in the file. So this is the stage changes. And suppose I want to delete this row. So you see I can edit the hunk with capital E or delete change. I'm gonna do edit hunk and it opens Vim for me. And I can see that it didn't have a break line. So will that work? I hope I didn't break something. Yeah, that was a bad idea. But one thing I can do as well is I can edit the actual file. This is what I actually wanted to do before. So I made the change, and that's why I started working with NeoVim about a year ago, is that it lets me quite quickly do changes, and you can see I don't have VS Code or WebStorm or stuff like that that's open and runs and takes up memory, and I have to wait for it to index and stuff like that. So I close the file, I go back to LazyGit, and as you can see I have this thing. I hit escape, I get the new thing and ban logs, and I'll get the rest, and I'm gonna hit C, and we have basic controllers and DOM testing. I'm gonna hit enter, and now, so I don't have any files. I click on the right arrow and I got to this pane, so it shows me all the local branches and it shows you the remotes. Okay, so I currently didn't configure a remote, so I don't see it, but as you can see here I have the logs, and if I click on it I can actually go by commits over here. So it's really powerful, and you can see many things over here. So yeah, so this is LazyGit in a nutshell. There are many commands, I don't know all of them, but the question mark thing, as you can see, it's very powerful. Paste commits, amend commits, and so on and so forth. I hope I helped you out with it a bit. So that's LazyGit. Thanks a lot for the intro. You're welcome. If you want, like maybe in the future, I don't know if I'm gonna do it now. Let's see if the streams go well and people like my streams. I will probably make videos about NeoVim configs, about different dot files you can use, different Linux tools you can use, Tmax and other fancy stuff you can start using today to make your development experience much faster and nicer. So yeah, that's it. I think this would be the end of my first stream. I hope you liked it. And if you're here and you haven't followed, yeah, this was my first stream. Gee, thanks. uh, thanks a lot. Are you from the States, by the way? By any chance? Thank you for the follow. Where are you from, Difuba? If you're okay with sharing. That's fine. That's fine. Cool. So thank you for the kind words and for the participation. It's much nicer when you have someone to talk to instead of talking to yourself. And thanks to the rest of you that joined. And Liron, thank you for the moral support. And I hope it was interesting. And yeah, I'll stream soon. Maybe even tomorrow. Let's see. Have a great day, night. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.